First off, over here, this is my media blast cabinet. It's pretty much where I do my media blasting. That's really what I use it for. So, yeah, that's the end of that. Now this is my drill press. I pretty much just use this for counterboring because it's easy. So, countersinking, excuse me. Got a little double cut carbide burr on there. Does the trick. This is my Bridgeport, covered in titanium chips. That's how we do it over here. You know, just make a lot of chips, and we leave them. You know, for the next guy, right? It's a broken circuit board drill in there. Drilling a lot of circuit boards these days. Just kidding. We got a small air compressor. You know, it's small. I just use it to blow the crap off my mill. What else we got? This is my Craftsman toolbox. Sorry about that. A little seasickness there. You know, that's pretty cool stuff. Move on. We got industrial size fan. You know, to keep things cool, keep the chemicals that I heat out so they don't go into my lung. You know, that's better. So, what's this? It's a little vacuum pump over there for all this carbon fiber stuff that I have going on here. Try to make some carbon fiber. Here's the safe cabinet. All these little bottles of oxygen for safety. Little arbor press and a wrench. I use this little arbor press mainly for A, straightening blades, and B, pressing in these little just their 1/16 detent balls. You know, press them in. Gotta press. This is the mess factory here. This is pretty much where I make all my mess, and I also tumble deburr things. Oh, excuse me. This grinder here I use for grinding my lock faces on my knives, because you gotta grind them on an angle, and you gotta keep this thing on a weird angle too. You know, it's not straight. You know, but it works out real good if you do it this way. This here is my Harbor Freight bench grinder, which I really don't use too often. That is a Ryobi small drill. I use that because I do not have a lathe. I have a grinder and a small Ryobi drill, and I do tapering and stuff like that with this. Another Ryobi drill hidden back here. This here is my bucket of filth water. This is what I use to cool my blades off as I'm grinding them, because it's filthy. This is my surface plate. It's a piece of tempered glass, basically. It's actually a scale from Harbor Freight, but it's tempered. So, you know, it's good and sturdy, and it's being glassed, it's flat. It's much cheaper than a surface plate. Here's the grinder. Now, this is how I keep things grinding all day, every day, because it's a grinder. And this, that's pretty much a pile of dust. It used to be blades, but now it's just dust. You know, this same thing applies over here. It's the dirty corner. That's where all the dirt goes when, you know, it follows the belt and just flies back there. Here's a bunch of used belts from my grinding. You know, I keep them. You know, some of them still got a little life left in them. This is my my Darth Vader mask with pink accessories to look real manly, but also to keep particulates out of my lung. You know, this is some broken belts, you know, because sometimes that happens. We got here some new belts and an apron, because I'm the chef around here. And I got some things in here, some Windex, some sandpaper, some Scotch-Brite. What else we got? That's paint stripper. It's not too bad. This is my chair. This is where I do most of my sitting. This is the Harbor Freight buffer, complete with stand from Enco. Well, that's how we do it here. We get the Chinese stuff when we can, because it's much cheaper. Does this work? Yes. Does it work well? Yes. It spins, it buffs. I have no problem with it. This here is the Harbor Freight bandsaw. Harbor Freight seems to be my store of choice because, first of all, they're cheap. Second of all, they have all kinds of crappy industrial equipment that you can't really find at Home Depot. You can't buy this at Home Depot. You'd have to order this or go to Harbor Freight and buy it. So that's what I do. I wish I could have better stuff. I'm just starting out. I've only been in here for maybe like 8 months or so. That's how it's done. This is a lot of what do you call it? Dust, I guess you call it. It's mostly titanium. I don't know why it's black. Titanium is not black, but it is what it is. Some chargers, some extra screws just in case, some tape, an indicator, all the good stuff here. This is my workbench. This is where I stay healthy. Drink a lot of coffee here. Assemble some knives. This is a laptop. It's not mine, it's my friend Mike's. This is a power supply, 0 to 127 volts DC. I use that for anodizing titanium, which I do in this bath of trisodium phosphate. I should cover this so the bugs don't get in it. That's pretty much it. So, I'm making knives in here. Been doing it, been selling them. It's very expensive. I make less money than I spend. That's typically how that goes, I guess. But this is what I make here. It's a beautiful knife. Pretty freaking damn good. Thick ass titanium handles, anodized bronze. It's the titanium anodized bronze. This is also titanium pocket clip anodized. It's all milled out, everything. And this is what I was talking about, making those little bevels with the Ryobi drill. See, I tapered that screw there, tapered that screw there. Lock the knife, close it up, fire it open, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this is the last one of this batch. I really haven't even finished the drawings for the next batch. That's my own fault. I should probably do that, and I will. And as soon as I'm done with the drawings, I have the materials on order to make new and different knives. The handle is 6AL4V titanium, aka grade 5. The blade steel is a tool steel called Z-Wear, which is kind of a new rendition of an old tool steel called Vasco-Wear. It's about 60 HRC, and a nice little 1200 grit edge going on there. And yeah, I made this myself, designed it myself, I'm proud of it. Let's move on to my toolbox. Sorry, this is running on a little long. In the bottom drawer, we have these fancy things. I have this Kaka coaxial indicator, but I also have a better one in the Craftsman box. I have that. That's what I do my tapping with. It's a fly cutter. I got some V-blocks, some collets that I don't use, and some big boy drills that I don't use. We got in here, we got some fancier stuff, a couple measuring devices, a little clamp guy in the back, some micrometer, some squares, little squares that I don't really need, another tap handle that I don't need. We got some rusty files and some spare nozzles for the media blaster. Some deburring tools. A lot of carbide in this box. That's not carbide, that's not carbide. The rest is carbide. All end mills. All drills. The only things that aren't carbide are these. The rest of this stuff here is carbide. Very expensive. Carbide end mills, expensive. Actually, those are from Amazon. They're cheap crap, but they actually seem to work fine. I think that was like $70 for that whole set. And some other various hand tools here. A lot of Sharpies to stay sharp. And have a nice day.